Hey everybody, can you hear? This has been a long time coming now. Welcome back to our Visions of Mana playthrough. As you may recall, we left off here, and I have all of these other saves now that you'll understand what these are about in a minute, but suffice to say, I've been doing a lot of testing. As you can see from this autosave here, it has been quite some time. Actually did 2 full weeks of testing on this game, and then processing all the videos that I did, as well as the vampire strategy guide video that I put out. And well, let's just get into it so we can understand what's changed. So this is our unblemished save file, and the one that we left off at in the previous session. But there are things I need to go over before I can explain what the reason for all the other stuff is. Actually, is this the right save file? Was he in that? There's actually, I mean, it has to be, right?
Plan our next move.
924. Yeah. Yeah, this has to be where we left off. I don't remember leaving Val wearing the water vessel, but I guess I did. Anyways. So, what has happened since that session? Well, since that session, I learned a very important thing about the class system in this game. And that very important thing that I learned, I'm going to show you right now. We're going to go and move Val all the way over here. All the way over to Sanctum.
Awesome. Keep it up. I feel blessed by the elements.
Here we go, folks. Powering up your starter classes. Maxing out the elemental's plot of a single element will grant the favors of the elements to that character's starter class as well. These favors include equipping elemental vessels to your base class. These favors allow a character to equip weapons with their starter class that were not previously possible, assign abilities learned through the elemental plot to their starter class, use different classes' class strikes. You can change which elemental vessel is equipped, switch weapon types, and choose each character's class strikes from the vessel menu. To switch out a character's class abilities, go to the Class Ability tab from the Abilities menu. The more rows you max out, the more benefit the character's base class will receive. Potential for greatness was within you from the very start. Returning you to your roots may very well be the key to ultimate strength. Yeah, so all of that sounds very cool. It all sounds very cool. There is a problem with this though. Because basically what just happened there is, if you ever played Final Fantasy V, we just unlocked the Final Fantasy V job system. Which, for people who played Final Fantasy V, you know that when you mastered the different classes in that game, you gained those abilities to use in what was called the Bear class. You know, the class that didn't have any skills, and you had to, but you could go and basically make your own specialized multi-classes using the base class. That's exactly what this is. This is the Final Fantasy V job system. Unfortunately, since, you know, we've been playing the game using the classes the whole time, And this is like a really lame reason for why I don't like this system. This is the ultimate class for Val. You can go put on the Lumina Lantern because we've mastered Paladin. He can go use the Lance because we mastered Paladin. He can use the Unicorn Charge because we mastered Paladin. And also, he has access to the class abilities of the Paladin because of the fact that we have mastered Paladin. So all of that, really cool for people who like builds, which is what I am. But that is what that is Val's ultimate class right there. What we're looking at, that is Val's ultimate class. There is no option for switching what he looks like. You have these appearance things, which let you switch, like, you know, like the appearance of the weapons. And you have this thing here, which is only available for Val and only exists for DLC shit. So you can put on the Guardian's Garment thing, which is the DLC thing that I got for having bought the game at launch. But you can't wear the outfits of the other classes. So for Val to be in his ultimate class, he needs to be wearing that. For Karina to be in her ultimate class, she needs to be wearing that. For Morty to be in ultimate class, he needs to be wearing that. For Palomina, that. And for Julie, this. Essentially, the dumbest and most boring outfits they have are what you are stuck with if you want to play with them at their most powerful. Also, so like I mathed it out. If you want to do like, you know, like, so all of those save slots that you saw, each one of those is like all these characters in specialized, you know, like in like their ultimate like specialized classes things. And I'm going to be using those slots for videos that may be coming around this time. I'm not sure. Like if you've seen class videos on my channel by the time this video went up, then you know that, you know, those videos are up already. If you haven't, then I'm still probably working on them. But the way those work, each one of these lines costs 500 elemental points. You need 500 elemental points for each of these lines. And so like the best you could possibly do, like once you get to like character level like in the 90s, you can get like each character to like 3 mastered classes and like 1 character to 4 master classes. And like there's no reason to do 4 for anybody. Like I'm just saying that 1 character would be able to do it because you would have enough extra clovers for the purpose of doing that. That's all I mean when I say that you could do 5 mastered classes. I mean, like 4 mastered classes with 1 character if you wanted to. But like, so the like what this allows them to do is like combine the strengths of the different classes to do things that make sense in hindsight. So like when I was really confused about elementary for Palomina, back when I first unlocked the light classes for her, light classes for everybody, like I was like, oh, why does it say magic attacks are the same element as the elemental break? I mean, it can only be the light one, right? I mean, how can it be anything other than the light one? And it's because you could use this with a different vessel on. That's why. So you can do some like really crazy powerful stuff. And once again, there will be videos about like the ones that like the ones that I like the most. I'm not going to be doing videos for every possible thing because that's impossible. But for the ones that I really liked, I'm making videos on. But, and this is the important thing. Once again, like I know it's lame. It's lame. But I don't like this system because of the fact that you have to use the default outfits. I don't. Like, I'm not going to be using that system for the post game stuff. Instead, what I'm going to be doing is that for all of the characters, I'm instead going to be having them master my 2 favorite classes for them. And then, like, I'll be switching between those classes, you know, as I see fit. And like, as the post-game stuff goes on, I'll be like switching them between those classes. And to help out with that, one moment. This over here. You can't see what it is I'm doing, but you'll see in just a moment. And we will switch over to here. Nope, that's the wrong one. Or is it? That was the right one. Let's see. So this here is a very weird little table, I know. And the reason why, like, this is like this, and I have like this key for this very bare bones basic table, is that this used to be an incredibly complicated matrix that I had created for representing like the party compositions and my favorite party compositions. It was so complex. I was like, you know what? Like, this doesn't even make sense to convey the information that I want to convey to people anymore. So I reduced it to a kind of tier list to show like what it is that I like, and you know, like, and we'll be trying out. So and we can see our little key here, and like these are the representations for different elements, and then for the character names. So this is Morley and Moon, Palomena and Wind, you know, so forth. So bottom up, in the honorable mentions line here, this is Val in his dark class. The reason that this is here is that, as I said when I first unlocked the dark classes for everybody, I don't like Berserker as a melee class for Val. Now, I can tell you from having done all my testing that this is the most powerful class in the game, like, without question. There, like, hands down, there's nothing stronger than this class. But only if you're playing it as a melee class that does class strikes, which is not the way that I play Berserker with Val. For me, Berserker with Val is a caster. When you play Berserker, like the Berserker class that I did for Val, like, that build is very much not a viable thing. Again, it isn't something that you can really play as, and the reason for that, switch back over to the game real quick. The reason for that is that Val doesn't have spells. Val has Fireball. This is the only spell Val has access to. Everything else he has is either a buff or a projectile skill, and like, he has Spirit Circle, which is a ninja move, and Poem Mark, which is a taunt. You know, but everything else is a buff or like a projectile move. You know, like, he has nothing else. So if you want to use him as a caster, then you have to waste his ability seed slots with spells. You have to give him the spells you want him to use, which makes him a worse caster because he can't invest as much as the other characters can. But for that reason, I consider this an honorable mention because it is very good. You know, even like, you know, like using an ability slot to bring in a spell, like, it is a very cool playstyle. This is a very cool playstyle. Do with Val, having him be a Berserker mage, but it isn't something that you can really like take advantage of, like compared to the other things that exist. In the F tier here, we have Palomina with wood and Val with earth. The reason that these are in these spots is because Palomina's wood class is a summoner, and summoning magic is garbage in this game. It is absolute trash. I tried them all. I tried every single summon with all the summoning classes, and none of them are good. Compared to the actual magic spells, like the summoning spells don't make sense. They do not make sense as to why it is that they have the restrictions they do. So just straight up trash, not worth playing. Val in his earth class, like what I was going for with that was to try to make him like a that can inflict status effects and be like a debuffer. But, and let's go and switch back over again. In his wood class, like these things, well, I mean, Trounce works, but Hawksight and Hawksight Plus, this does nothing. If this interaction exists in the game, I never saw it happen, ever. I tried every single projectile move with Val, and he never caused a stun using his projectiles. Not once. Like this works, like having him use his projectile moves to silence enemies, that works all the time. You can definitely rely on this happening. But stunning enemies with your projectiles doesn't happen. It is not a thing. I tried it on many different groups of enemies. This does not actually do what it says on the tin here. So for that reason, like Val doesn't have a huge variety of projectile moves in his kit. He has throwing knife. He has falling blade, and I think that's it. Just confirming real quick. Yeah, that's it. He has throwing knives and falling blade. Falling blade is actually a very good projectile skill, but this is not a good thing for Val. Like, this does not do what you would want it to do. It is a very bad class, like a very bad specialization for Val. Head back. Now in the D grade here is Julae in Dark. The reason I'm putting Julae in Dark is because, first off, it is Julae's summoning class, and as I mentioned, summoning classes are garbage. Like, the only good thing about that class is that Julae has access to a debuff that can like handle every single stat, and it can hit all enemies. So that's really cool. And because he's Julae, you can still get him all of his healing stuff. He just won't be as good at healing. So, you know, he's a D while Palomina is an F because of the fact that, you know, like he's still useful, even though like it isn't really a good class in the same way that all of this other stuff is. I didn't put anything in C because nothing was like, nothing felt like that middle of the road for me. Everything I tried was either above average or below average, you know, so I didn't put anything in C. In the B category for Val, I put his wind class. And the reason that I put his wind class here is because, like, if you want to have a character who's just going around, again, like a party member who's just going around and is able to give the rest of your party like viable buffs that, you know, are good for attacking enemies and taking advantage of enemy elemental weaknesses, as well as dealing pretty good damage themselves, then it's a good thing to have. Playing as this is bad. This is a bad class to play as. I did not have fun playing as Val in this class, but he is a very good party member to have in this class. Is why he's in B. Alamina in Light is here because she is able to pump out a lot of damage as a caster, especially against bosses with the specialization. The problem is that as a caster, I vastly prefer wind. Like this specialization doesn't even come close to to the wind specialization when it comes to actually being a good caster. So so then you have to consider, okay, so what about as an attacker? Using her weapons to attack. Well, once again, I prefer the kicking moves. And then when it comes to actually using the scythe, I prefer the dark class. And I'll explain that when we get to the A tier. So she's a lesser version of both of them, which is why she's in B, in her light class. For Morley, I put his earth class down here in B because primarily his earth class still has access to his daggers, which means he has access to all of his dagger stuff, which means that he's still a very good character to play as, even though ninja moves are garbage. Ninja moves are absolute trash. You could give Morley all of the magic in the world, and I did. I gave Morley a crazy amount of magic, an absolutely insane amount of magic. And these moves do nothing. The ninja moves are garbage upon garbage. The only value they have is that if you master this class, they're able to debuff enemies because of the class skills that Morley has. That's the only reason to use the ninja moves is for debuffing enemies. It is not for actually dealing damage using those skills. There is a viable means of doing this, but it isn't here, and I'll explain when we finish up the table here. So moving on to the A tier, I gave Val's water class the A. And the reason for that is something that I did not give this class credit for when we were actually playing through the game. It was something that I came to appreciate as I was testing out all of the different class combinations and stuff. When you go and see Frigid Talon and Frostscale, as well as Frostscale Plus, these things are fantastic. With this, remember how I was saying at the beginning of the game, well, when we first unlocked the Earth class, that I wanted to pair up Val with Rena in her Wind class, take advantage of Muse's Benediction? Well, this is what I should have been considering for that, because this actually works. And mind you, once again, having Val do his projectile moves in Earth, makes it that, this also is a very good one for pairing up with Rena. But there's a much better use of that I'll explain in a separate thing, but I just know that, this is way better. As something that's actually functional and fun to play as, this is way better. Because when you get over to the final tier here, you get Frigid Inferno, which makes it that you have a chance of just instantly killing enemies that are frozen. And you're constantly freezing enemies, so you can actually instantly kill a lot of enemies just using his special attack. It's a really cool playstyle, and I highly recommend trying that out. So that is the other specialization that I'm going to be doing for Val. He's going to be light and water. That's how I'm setting up Val. Go back over here. Obviously for Karina, you know, her water class I've always liked. So it is sitting here in A. And just, you know, like all the reasons why I said I liked it in the beginning of the game, like are the reasons why I still like it. You know, like it's like the spear. The spear is a very good weapon that has, you know, like that you know is able to hit lots of enemies, break their poise very easily, and that you do like really good combos. And then, you know, she's debuffing the whole time because of the way that her water class is set up, and you're able to like do like really nice debuffs on enemies using this class. So just overall, very good class for Karina. Her fire class is crazy. This is so strong. This is so stupid strong. Like, I didn't realize how good this was until I did my testing. But like let me move back over again. So this right here, the barrage, this is so good. This is unbelievably good, especially if you pair it up with someone who is using the moon vessel, because if they do the, you know, the elemental break, then she can just lay into an enemy using this combo. But the reason why, like, you know, like I find this is like so crazy strong, but like I'm only putting it in her A spot. That's going to be explained later on. So then for Jule, like fire, I really like fire for Jule. Like it allows him to be an actual like aggressive melee fighter, while also providing passive healing for the party. And you know, since he's Jule, he has access to all of his healing stuff, and because of the fact that you can just go and like grab the stuff you like from wood and light and water, so it's just a really good one for Jule to have. Is like a nice alternate for Jule is fire. And then moon, like moon I put above fire because I actually really like the ability to pump your damage, like your actual attack damage, using your magic stat. So you can like, you know, like make Jule like a really strong caster, and by making him really strong caster, make it that he's actually like a crazy strong fighter. So, you know, so you just do the jump attack and then just like belt out all of the like just X attacks, you know, just regular like light attacks at enemies while you're in the air, which, you know, turn it like which are you know, seeking rounds that attack very quickly. Like it's a really powerful combat stance. And also, like, you know, just like with his fire class, he's able to, you know, like invest in wood and light and water just to get all of his healing stuff, like to be a great healer along with everything else. So it's just like a no-brainer. Like this is just an awesome one for Jule. And then for Palomina, like the reason I really like this right here is twofold. So you're gonna see me mentioning this a lot. So I'm gonna bring in this again. Let's move over to Palomina as her dark class. Like I don't like, you know, this, like this doesn't matter to me. Like this doesn't matter to me. Like these are the ones that matter. These three right here. So Sinister Ascent like when she attacks with her special attack, there's a chance of paralyzing an enemy. When she attacks with her normal attack, she has a chance of paralyzing an enemy. And when she uses her special attack, she can instantly destroy enemies with a status effect. And the reason why like I really like this is because she has this combo right here, like where she does that whole like walking forward while just spinning her scythe thing. But that's her, you know, as her X attack, and also like, you know, her like her side swing thing, sling thing. So you can throw it into a group of enemies. Like, you know, again, that does a lot of damage. Like this right here isn't as useful, but yeah, same idea. But like the reason why it's so good is that you can go and in her abilities, go and give her Malady Spreader to increase the chance of inflicting status effects, make her more likely to inflict paralyze. Then you can go and get her Boost Paralyze to further increase the chance of paralyzing an enemy by a bunch. You can invest in special attack to get her, you know, special attack if you want to have her special attack be more likely to cause paralyzing, or like, you know, like or kill an enemy because they are paralyzed. And you can get Quietus, which makes it that, you know, you have a chance of instantly destroying an enemy with a normal attack. And so like, you know, you can, and you know, and your normal attack can cause paralyze. So, you know, so with her normal attack and her special attack, she can instantly kill enemies. You know, it's very cool. It works very well, and it is the solution to something that we're gonna see when we get to the Ares later. Yeah, so because of that, that is like my choice for my alternate for Palamina is she's going to be Wind and Dark, or her two. Bring this back over. Now for Morley, we can see that I have him in Dark and Fire. And the reason for that is the exact same reason for the Palamina thing. They both have the exact same thing as Palamina. So Palamina in Dark is interchangeable with Morley in Dark. When they achieve the same purpose, they are capable of using their special attack to instantly kill, you know, to cause status effects against enemies and instantly kill enemies that have status effects. You know, they are the exact same thing, so that's why I put Morley in Dark in the same place here with Palamina. And then Morley with Fire. This is like, while this I feel is the like Morley and Moon I feel is the strongest Morley. Morley and Fire is my favorite Morley. Like, this is my personal favorite way to play Morley. The reason why this isn't at the top is because it is very situational. And the reason for that is because Fire, you know, his Fire class is a trap class. And traps rely on your attack stat. And so, like, you know, there are encounters where having a very high attack stat and using traps are going to be extremely useful. And then there's going to be other situations where having a very high attack stat will not help you for anything and makes him essentially worthless as a combatant in this class, which is why I put it down in A and not up with Moon Morley. Also, like, he can, like, because he's capable of putting enemies to sleep using his fire class. Actually, is it sleep or might have been poison? I'm thinking about it. 1 second. Let's go and move back over. Poison, yeah. So he's able to poison enemies with his normal attack. And because you can poison enemies with normal attack, then like, you know, you can kind of use him the same way as Palomina and Dark Morley. The Dark Palomina and Dark Morley. Like doing the whole status effect murder thing. But, you know, he doesn't have those kind of bonuses. So it's just that, you know, like being able to poison an enemy, you can invest in him having like status effects. Is, you know, the whole thing there. But yeah, but the traps are the thing. And most importantly, wide wire is the thing. You know, because of wide wire specifically, is why Morley for me is going to be fully invested in Moon and Fire. Those are going to be his two. Back over here. Go for Val. You know, like there was only one way that it was going to end, and that was going to be Val and Light, because Val and Light is a great option. You know, it's a very cool playstyle for the player because, you know, you're able to actively, you know, enhance the party, take on the threat, and dish out the damage at the same time, because his lance is actually his most powerful weapon. Like, actually the most powerful weapon. And then, you know, just being able to like passively recover by taking damage, and then investing, you know, like adding skills, ability seeds that make him like able to further like take on enemy aggro and take damage from the other characters as they take damage. You know, like it's just like he works great like this. So, you know, so Val in Light and Water are my two favorites. Then Karina in Wind is my best rank slot for her, because this works so much better than I thought it was going to. So much better. Like, you know, like I had actually I actually like wasn't sure that I was going to put her here. I was thinking that I was going to go and actually like put all three of hers in A. And the reason for that is, you know, like what I'm getting to, you know, what I'm working towards with this whole thing. But like Karina in Wind, because of the fact that, you know, she has all the debuffs, you know, like the very powerful debuffs, and she has the ability to heal the party members while attacking using her fans. You know, like she is actually like, you know, like this makes her a great unit. Like not a good unit, a great unit. Like she is like, you know, like fantastic to have with you as a party member or to play as. Like it works very well with her in this special station. Like there's only one thing that, you know, that works better, and we're gonna get there. Then, you know, Julian Wood, you know, no-brainer. This is Julie at his best. You know, Julie is the healer, and the best thing a healer can do is when a character goes down, he can bring them back. And as Wood, he's able to bring them back at full health. You know, like he's able to just recover them all the way up, like because of the passives that are available to him in the Wood class. And, you know, like, and he can still go, you know, get the status heals from Light and get the status down removal from Water, you know. So like Julie is flying high, and so like my two, like I'm still not decided on if my two for Julie are going to be Wood and Moon or Wood and Fire. I still haven't made that choice yet. Like, I think I'm just going to flip a coin when we start investing on which of these two I'm going to use. Because like the reason, like the big thing is that like both of these compete with more of these two, which is the problem. Because oh, that happened. Oh, okay, that was just the cursor. Because like with Jule in wood, he has no competition. There's no one else that I want using wood. Karina in wind, Karina is competing against Palamina in wind, which is a problem, very big problem. You know, Val in light, Val's not competing against anybody. You know, none of my other favorites are in light. You know, so Val and Jule are kind of like settled as to like their position on the team, whereas Palamina and Karina, like that's a problem. So, yeah, so figuring out this is going to be something I have to figure out for myself, but we'll get there. Now for Palamina, as I said, this is my favorite class. You know, like just in the game, period, favorite class is Palamina in her wind class. Like, you know, it is like the most interesting and like, you know, most mechanically satisfying to use as a player. It's just using her in her wind form because, you know, you're able to, you know, queue up the spells, then go and wail on an enemy, you know, like be a true like a mana character, you know. Like this is the truest mana character in the game. Like everyone else has like instances of kind of harkening back to the other games, but she's the only one who like you actually like, because of this the way this class works, she's the only one who actually plays like a mana character. You know, so that's why, you know, this is her S, and there's no question in that. And then, you know, Morley and Moon, you know, we saw it. You know, we saw it the whole game. Like, you know, like from as soon as he unlocked this class, it was the strongest class out of every character. You know, no one compares to Morley in his Moon class. You know, he has instant crit advantage. He has the ability to just close gaps on any enemy whenever he feels like it. You know, so he can get in, do an attack, dodge away, doesn't have to worry about survival, doesn't have to worry about anything other than putting out all the damage that we need him to do. You know, he is perfect. You know, and he's Moon, so he can just use the Moon Elemental Burst to give us all the opportunities we need to do all the damage we want with every character. You know, there is no question here. Yeah, so now that we've done that, anyone who has not been following the playthrough may be wondering, why is it that I'm not ranking, you know, that I have this table that has all of the elements in it, but I'm not ranking all of the characters in all of their classes? And the reason is that I didn't play all the characters in all of their classes. I mean, I kind of played like Jule and Morley in their light classes in like when I was trying to figure out how to, well, actually Morley, Jule, and Karina. I tried all of them in their light classes when I was trying to figure out how to beat the vampire boss. But, you know, like I didn't really try out anybody in their, like in the classes, in like the classes we're not seeing here. However, if I scroll down, so these here, these are the custom class builds. These are the builds that are like if you combine multiple multiple class combos for each character. Obviously, I only did 3 per, 3 classes per character. And then, like, I ranked how effective they were. And that's what, and so like, these datas here, like this, these are the actual save files that they're in order to help me, figure out where they are when I go to make those build videos. But so you can see here that even though I didn't do Morley, I didn't rank Morley as wind, you can see that he has wind here. I didn't rank Morley as wood, but he has wood here. I didn't rank him as water because water here. And Palomina, she has her light, water, fire. Even though, I didn't rank any of those up there because, they were in these builds. And like the stuff that you didn't see up there, I did use in these builds with exception of Karina. Karina, I never used dark. Yeah. But Karina, I never used dark, but everyone else tried out everything. And like if I didn't try it out up there, then I tried it out inside of the multi-class stuff. Which is why you don't see the stuff up there. So what you're seeing here, like the ones that are, double asterisk, that means that, this is the best one there is. So like for Morley, Palomina, and Jule, like these are literally just like the logical next step in, in their S classes for me. So, Morley in Moon. So like Morley and Moon, like when we have all of the crit stuff. And then when you go into Wind, like the reason why, like this is the one that I pair up with, that is that Chivalry Plus makes it that the entire party gets a critical hit bonus, which includes Morley. So now Morley has a guaranteed chance to crit. It increases his crit damage. And if you want, you can go and make it that he's less likely to be attacked. I mean, there's no real reason to do that, but you could choose to do that. And then that build was also, one second, also light. And the reason why it's also light is because of this right here. Like ratiocination, however that's pronounced, enables normal and special attacks to ignore enemy resistances. So with that, Morley is disgusting. Absolutely disgusting. Like I tried it out, it is as good as it sounds. And then you could make him a little tankier if you wanted, but that's not really the point. Yeah, but it is, just the, as I said, the logical next step in the way that, his Moon class is. Just makes it that much stronger. It's everything that makes it that much stronger. Then Palomina, like pairing her Wind class with the passives from Water and Light, just make it that, like, the playstyle that I like so much here gets enhanced like crazy, because in Water, reduce casting time of magic by 40%. Increase the damage of magic attacks by 50%. You can also get 50% of MP back consumed after winning a battle, but that's not really a big one. And then in light, now you get Mystic Mastery, increased damage by 35% when using magic attacks consecutively. So as you can imagine, stupidly strong. This is her in her final form. And for Jule, it's what you expect. Like wood has all of the resurrection stuff, light has all the healing stuff, and then water makes it that you are able let me just go real quick. So with water, like you have Wade. Oh, sorry, that's the wrong one. Ingenuity. You have Ingenuity, which makes it that you remove stat decreases when restoring HP with healing moves. And then in light, you have Aromatic Mint, which removes status effects when restoring HP with healing moves, meaning that both Remedy and Twinkling Rain get replaced by Healing Light Plus. You can full party remove all status ailments and status decreases using a full party heal. Absolutely nuts. That's perfect. You're just the perfect healer build using Jule. And then, for Val, this one here, this is my highly recommended, because this is basically just his paladin class with even more defenses. Just all of the stuff from all of his tank classes, all of his lance classes, and just dialing it up so that way, he can survive anything. And Karina, the idea here is that essentially, the reason why it's fans or fists is that, what I said before about why it is that I didn't, that I wasn't sure if I wanted to put her wind class in the A rank, or why I didn't want to put her fire class in the S rank, is because with this, she's both. With this, she has all the power of being, of being her fire class. Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, this was I meant to update this and I forgot. Yeah, this has light instead of fire in it. Yeah, this actually wouldn't be possible. You wouldn't be able to do fists with or gloves. You wouldn't be able to do gloves with wind, water, light, because you can only use the weapons that are from the classes that you've mastered. So this one is actually wind, water, fire, not wind, water, light. I should fix that right now. One sec. Fire. Yeah, because wind, water, fire. Basically what this does is that it makes it that using her barrage attack skill with the glove weapon type, she's basically able to debuff enemies and constantly heal everybody, because everybody's getting healed constantly. It is very cool, a very cool specialization for her. Once again, I'm gonna be doing a video actually showing off all of this, but so that's the idea there. Then for the other stuff, this one here is just doing the fire dark thing, but also getting the benefits from wood. Which just to show like what it is you get from wood by combining those. So you're able to increase your normal attack. And since in his fire class and in his dark class, he has passives that let him do poison and sleep, silence. Oh no, I'm sorry. It's just increasing damage against enemies when attacking with status effects. Yeah. So it's just, increasing damage against enemies that have status effects, as well as inflicting random status effects using the special attack. And then you're able to ignore enemy defenses using special attacks. And if you want to, you could go and like buff his attack a bit more using Unparalleled and Demolish. Yeah, but so that one, like, I don't like that as much as I do, like, just like this Breacher idea. Like, it's just like crazy strong. Like, this is cool. I like this because it, like, allows him to be like just a stat effect machine by doing that. And then like this here, like this is interesting. Like this, so this means I definitely guarantee that like this is as good as it gets. This is something that you should try. This is something that works, but I don't really recommend it. And the reason for that is by combining fire, earth, and wood, what you're essentially aiming for is being a character that deals status effects and status debuffs is the goal with this. So, so you have the bonuses to normal attacks. You have the ability to deal poison damage or to cause poison status effect, and you have with your normal attack plus the trap stuff, and then you also have the ninja magics and the bonus that makes it that all the ninja magics go and cause status debuffs. So you have all of that going on. But like what I said before about why like the ninja magic is garbage because it doesn't deal damage. While that's still true, when you have this going on, so you have the dagger moveset with all of the wood stuff, or not wood stuff. You have the dagger moveset with like all of the debuff stuff from earth, all of the status inflicting stuff from fire, and the trap stuff from fire. So you're able to, instead of like use these just for the purpose, so you don't need to stack magic at all. Like this, you don't need to stack any magic because you're not reliant on the earth stuff for damage. You're reliant on it to help out with debuffing enemies. So you can go put on a ninja move, use it to debuff the enemy, and then go and start using the trap stuff. So like this, this works really well. The problem is that like it's very move heavy. They're like you'd be using a lot of moves, which means that you're using a lot of MP, and that's where it falls apart. Now this, I'm not even going to talk about this. Like if there's a minus there, that means that I do not recommend it at all. It's not even worth checking out. I'm not even go over like what that idea was. Well, I mean, I'll say what it's like. This was meant to be like a tank class for Morley. Didn't work. Turns out that in hard mode, no matter how much defense you put on a character, they can't take a hit. Unless they're Val, they can't take a hit. Like Val is special because of the fact that when you have his lance on and you do the reinforced shield thing, like he actually blocks. Like like him taking that stance, it actually blocks damage. And because of that, like this is actually like the only character that you can rely on to not die by getting attacked is Val. Like everyone else, if you have them set up to tank, it doesn't work. Doesn't matter how much defense you give them. It doesn't work. So for Palomina, like I tried Summoner, garbage, not worth even talking about. Like Harbinger, this is the advanced version of her Dark class. There's all the strengths that I talked about with the Dark class, but from the Wind specialization, you're able to further enhance the ability to deal status effects, which just makes it perfect synergy there. And then with Fire, you're able to, just give her like a more reason to attack instead of use spells. So this is like her like super melee specialization for Palomina. And then this here is a kind of tank thing that I was going for, but like ended up being more of a the idea behind it was to be like a tank caster, like while she's casting, like she can take a hit, which kind of works because of the fact that like as like with Fire, I'll just bring that in real quick. So with Fire, with Palomina, you can do this. And like if she's targeting an enemy, then they deal less damage to her. Like she takes less damage if like a very large amount, like reduced damage, if the enemy is targeting her. And then like with those with Water and Wood, reduce damage suffered when casting. Raise magic defense by 50% when casting. So like it sounds like it'd be really good, but like like even like this, like it didn't work all that well. Which is why it's an interesting thing to try, but I can't really recommend it. And like with Jule, like this is trash. I tried to go, full melee with Jule. Get him the moon thing, invest in magic attack to make his attacks that much stronger. Go like Fire and Earth to get him all of the class strike bonuses. Like this, it was not good. This was not good because like if you're invested in these three, then you don't have enough points to invest in Wood and Light. So you can't use Jule as Jule if you do this, which makes it very bad. And then like this one here, I like this. Like this is an interesting one because it makes it that you know, you have that really good debuff. You know, you have like that interesting attack style. And actually, you know, I'm just executive decision this right now. I'm gonna minus that right there. Yeah. So I didn't have that there before because I felt that, and there was like it was still salvageable, but you know, that I'm thinking about it, like you know, it doesn't have lighter wood in it. So like even though like it is fun to play as, like it's just not as useful because you can't get all of the healing stuff. And then this right here, this is very cool. So this is full passive healing. Wind, fire, and wood are the 3 classes that have passive healing in it. And so combining these 3 together, you actually are healing characters for, you know, like 70 to 100 life, like every few seconds. You know, like it's actually like really nice healing. And then on top of that, you know, you could use any, like, you know, this gives them access to wands, this gives them access to hammer, this gives them access to umbrella. I'm sorry, these are both umbrella. Yeah, so no wands. You have access to umbrella and hammer, you know, which are both fun play styles. And then, you know, like then you have a few options for changing up the way you use him using the vessels if you wanted to. But, you know, like this is cool. This is a cool one that I definitely recommend trying out, but it's definitely nowhere near as good as this. And then this here, this is just an enhancement of his wind class, which, as I said, you know, this is a B thing. It's not really all that good because of the fact that, you know, like the best thing you get out of this combination is that with wood, you're able to deal more damage when you are attacking enemies' weaknesses. And then with water, you're able to, you know, deal, you know, like, you know, do the freezing stuff. You know, so this is cool, but like, you know, it's not like none of these like make, you know, none of these combine to be like spectacular in any way. So, you know, so it's worth trying, but it's not like really something I recommend. Like this right here is what I call the Blood Mage, and this is super cool. This is so crazy cool. So what this does is all the reasons why I said that Val as a Berserker Mage, again, like doesn't really work. Like this is how you make it work. By doing this, you're able to make it that Val has survivability as a, you know, as a caster, you know, as a, like, you know, so, you know, like, so the issue before was that, you know, like Val didn't have access to spells without using ability seeds. And while like that's still the case, like because now he has so many other abilities to pull from because of the job system, like he's able to get all of his damage and and round out his build this way. And it's very cool. Like this is a super cool way to use Val, and I definitely recommend trying it out. But obviously, like, you know, like it's more effective to use him this way. Using him as your tank is way more effective than using him as a damage dealer. But once again, like, this is a very cool way to use him. Especially since by having, like, if you give him the Moon Vessel, then he's able to, you know, do the whole elemental break thing, and then you can just have him go wild with his magic, which is super cool to do. And this here, like, this is an interesting idea. Like, this is like all the stuff that I said for why I don't like Earth. This makes that work. The reason it works is that when you're using a Lance and Shield, as I mentioned, Lance and Shield is his strongest weapon type. Because it's his strongest weapon type, that means that he gets the largest damage bonus from it. And with that large bonus, you're able to go and combine that with Wind to be able to get him like a big buff to his attack damage by, you know, by putting on any saber buff. Doesn't matter which saber buff you use, any saber buff will give him huge boost to his attack damage, or to his attack power. And then by being a fire, you know, have the fire class, like, he's able to further boost his attack by, I forgot the word already, but like when he, you know, raises his shield and does the charge thing, that makes it, you know, that makes the big glowing shield pop up. Like, whatever that's called. Like, when he does that, he gives him, like, you can get him even more attack power. And then by doing that combination, you're able to use his, you know, his projectile attacks to not only silence enemies, but actually do really good damage. Like, really good damage. Like, it, like this combination, like, you know, like as just Earth, like, you can't get him to do a lot of damage. You're not able to do a lot of damage if you're just Earth. But like this, you're able to pump out damage with Val. Like, this is as high as, like, you know, obviously, as I mentioned, Val, you know, as, you know, like, melee Berserk Val is the strongest Val. Like, this Val, like, Caster Val, is strong, but it's not his highest damage. Highest damage in the game is Berserker Val. But, you know, Berserker Val for melee and class strikes. But aside from that, like, this is the strongest Val. Like, this is Val being able to pump out lots of damage, but, you know, like, for the same reason that, you know, that I put Morty here, I put Val here, because this build doesn't really come online because of the MP issue. And there's a, like, you know, the cost of actually using the spells doesn't work here, which is a problem. With Karina, like, this here, I thought I was really gonna like this, and I really did not like this. But the idea here was to be a super debuffer, and, like, use all the water debuff stuff, and then with wood you're able to go and extend debuffs to the end of battle, and then with earth you're able to you're able to heal yourself and get lots of defense for having buffs, since you're getting buffs from debuffing because of this, and your debuffs are lasting on the battle because of that. Like, you know, like, I thought, oh, like, yeah, this is gonna be really nice. It's gonna be a really nice way to play as Karina. It was not. Having, like, you know, like having Karina as this like super debuffer who is able to heal, like, you'd think, oh yeah, it's like a really nice tanky attacker, but as I mentioned, you can't make characters tanky. Val is the tank. There is only one Val. No one else could take a hit. Not on this difficulty. So because she can't take a hit, this doesn't work. It doesn't work at all. Not even worth trying. And then this right here, Moon, Fire, Light. This I recommend trying because like this is just like super damage. Like even though like this is way better because of the fact that you're able to get all of the fire, like fire fast strike stuff, as well as getting like debuffs and healing by doing this. This here, like this is purely for just pumping out damage. This is like all this is for is you're able to buff yourself up, give yourself lots of extra attack damage because of light. The light specialization makes it that when you're buffed, you get a 25% bonus to your attack. But by going Moon, your buffs last until the end of battle, and they're improved by 25%. And then so then you have like you're doing like this fire character doing psychotic amounts of damage. It's just like this is as strong as she can get, which is why I recommend it, but it isn't as good as this in my opinion, just because like it doesn't give you the ability to use her to heal the entire party while debuffing the enemies and all that. And this here is an interesting one. Like this was also like an attempt at being tanky. So this is like using like the wood debuff thing. Actually, was that? Let me confirm that. Let's move over to check that real quick. Go over to Karina, like a wood. Yeah, so that makes it, so having Seal of Banishment makes it that enemies have less magic attack and magic defense. And Yin Yang also lowers enemies' magic attack and magic defense. I'm sorry, this one is for when you use summoning magic. So Yin Yang plus is what I was referring to. And then this okay, yeah. Now I remember what it is. Yeah, so it's actually not, doesn't have anything to do with the debuff stuff, because she doesn't have access to her debuff stuff when combined with Moon and Earth. And Moon and Earth don't have debuffs in them; they only have buffs. So, like, the reason why you want this is actually just to make it that enemies deal less damage and take more magic damage. And then you make it that, that she's less likely to be attacked while she is going and buffing herself up and buffing up the party. So that was the idea for that one. It's just like it was like kind of a stealth buffer kind of character, which is an interesting idea. Why I gave it that rating, but it, like it isn't like really something I recommend trying out because of the fact that it, like it's not like it's interesting in the way it works. It's not so interesting in actually playing. Yeah. Now you know what I've been working on for like the last 2.5, 3 weeks. Yeah, that took over an hour to explain, which I expected. But yeah, so you guys know like what I'm gonna be doing here. Like water's got to go, unfortunately. I've got to reset Karina. Like Morley is good. Like I just need to enhance Morley. Like, like he's got the points, so he's good to go. Palomina. I think Palomina, I think, is just under. Yeah. Yeah, so she like, I have to reset Palomina because of the fact that like investing this far into Earth put her just under being able to max out Dark and Wind. And while still while not dipping into our Golden Clovers, which, by the way, like, definitely 100% do not ever let anyone use up your Golden Clovers. Like, Golden Clovers, when you reset characters, you know, when you use the Goddess Scales, any character that used up Clovers, they get those back as their skill points. So the Clovers don't return to the Clover pool. When you reset them, those are those characters' skill points. You know, so those are, so like, you know, those are wasted points. As I said, you know, like, mathematically, like, you know, you can get three classes maxed out by the time you get your characters into the 90s. Your characters into the 90s, like, you know, like, you can achieve 3 without dipping into your Clovers. But if you dip into the Clovers, then you're just going to have a character that has a bunch of extra skill points that the other characters can't use. You know, so if you decide, like, oh yeah, I really need this character to get this thing now that I have, you know, there are 3 classes unlocked. Like, they may not be able to because you used up your Clovers, maxing out somebody else, and now all of those Clover points belong to that character. Yeah. Yeah. So definitely, like, be mindful of how you use those. Yeah. So Val. Yeah, Val, like, he'd only have to dip into the Clovers, you know, like, use up 3 Clovers to be able to finish off. Well, no, not Wind, he's Water. Yeah, so I have to reset Val. Val has to get reset. Val, Karina, and Palomina have to get reset. And Jule. And whether we do Fire or Moon, we have to reset Jule. No matter which one, he's got to get reset. Because he's too far under for us to be able to do that. But yeah, so we have our plan. So, by the way, like the whole thing with the outfits. Like, I think the reason why you can't, like, they made it that you can't just use the outfits from the other classes, because something that you can see in action. Like, let's go and have let's have Morley max out this. Oh, damn it, this bug is happening now. Yeah. Go and fast travel. There it is.
Let's rest up.
Doesn't matter where we go. We just need to move to a new area in order to reload all of the interaction stuff. Now, have Morty go and do that.
I'm on the right track.
And we'll have Rena do that.
Good job, mate. I'm getting stronger day by day. Good job.
So the reason that I'm doing this is that like this is to show like why it is that I believe that they made it that you can't swap and like swap the outfits in the default class. So if we look at Morley, now that Morley has mastered Nightblade, if we swap his weapon types, we can see that his cape goes away so that he can use the 2 knives and the tail knife. And with Rena, if we switch her to her glove weapon, we can see that now she doesn't have her coat anymore. So I think that's the reason why you know, you can't change the outfits, is that like they had to make like in order for the weapon types to work with certain outfits, you know, they had to like put dev time into like making alterations that make it that whatever the moves could happen, you know, like whatever it was that made it that her being dressed like this didn't work with the gloves, like whatever the reasoning was behind that, you know, like obviously like, you know, like they would have had to done the same considerations, you know, like with all of the other outfits, you know, like every outfit, you know, they have to do the same considerations on, you know, how do we make this thing work with the gloves, how do we make this thing work with the spear, like, you know, mind you, like, you know, like it's entirely possible that's not the case, because, you know, because for Val, Alamina, and Jule, like if you can swap them through all of their weapon types and there's no change to their outfits. It's only Morley and Karina that you know, that have the, you know, the dagger and fist thing. And they're the only ones who have an outfit change because of switching the weapon that they're using. You know, so it's possible that they, you know, they did that for those two because these two were like their favorite characters or something, you know. Like, but you know, I think it was most likely a like something that, you know, like something didn't look right when you used like all of the weapon types with certain outfits, and that's why they were like, okay, we don't have time to do this with all of them, so we're just gonna have it that the default class can do it and nothing else can. That's the reasoning that I was able to come up with. That's my headcanon for the events. Anyways, yeah, so next time we'll start off by actually investing in the things that we need to invest in for each character. And then I'm going to show off all of the Ares, because the Ares are not what I thought they were. The reason why I left the Ares for when I went to do my testing ended up like it ended up being good for testing, but not the way I thought it was going to be good for testing. Anyways, that's gonna be it for this one. Thanks everybody for stopping by and checking out. Doing the playthrough, appreciate the YouTube stuff. Like, comment, subscribe. Until next time, Vivictus, Fires of Damaris, and bye.